If you have ever played a fighting game in your life, I'm pretty sure you have once thought, I lost a fifth of my life to a grab? Yeah, that feeling sucks, but it feels fantastic to be the one doing it. Today, I want to talk about why I love to be that asshole that plays those characters. In anime fighters anyways. I don't really play them in other fighting games. We will go over it. So I want to start this off with briefly explaining the three characters that I'll be mostly talking about. First, we have Potemkin. Known for his grab, the Potemkin Buster, he has been sending people into the earth ever since his first appearance in the 1998 game Guilty Gear. On a side note, I did not realize this series was that old. Learn something new every day. Anyways, next we have Iron Tiger. Known for his signature magnetism mechanic, he has brought opponents to him instead of going after them. He first appeared in 2008 in Blaze Blue Calamity Trigger. Lastly, we have Waldstein, who has just huge fucking arms. He has been command grabbing people half screen since his first appearance in Under Night and Birth in 2012. He's also the grappler from this list that I know the least about, but I want to talk about him anyway, so get over it. I just realized, do I just like big, strong, beefy men?
Willies, Willies, I like Willies.
I love Willies.
Oh.
I love Willies.
So, could you keep it down?
Let's just ignore that. Now, I want to go into why I like grapplers, and more specifically, why I like them in anime fighters, and not other fighters. Also, before we continue on, I'd like to point out that no, I did not get any footage of normal fighters for any examples I talk about because I didn't want to download them and record it. I was going to ask a friend of mine to record some footage for Zangief from Street Fighter, but I didn't want to bother him. I also thought about throwing in Kanji from Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, but I know very little of him. And also, 2 of the 3 grapplers we are talking about today are Arceus games, so I didn't want to add another. So I'm sorry if you wanted to see them. Anyways, let's move on. First thing I love about anime grapplers is the mind game of how do I get in? In pretty much every fighting game, the grappler character usually can't run or air dash. Everyone's main plan against grapplers is keeping you the fuck away since, well, grab just kills people and it has to be up close. So how does every character do it? Potemkin does this by using his Hammerfall. This move allows him to not only travel quickly, but also has a hit of armor to help protect him. He can also stop the move early to prevent the attack from being blocked and punished. This can be used so many ways and I just love it. Next, we'll look at Iron Tiger, who gets around his movement limitations by applying magnetism to his opponents. What this does is instead of having to walk all the way over to the opponent, just pull them to you. It's quite exciting, even though a lot of jank can happen with it, but still exciting nonetheless. Waldstein comes from a very, how do I put this, calm anime fighter? I feel like Under Night doesn't have too much crazy in it, so that gave him the ability to reach pretty much half screen with tons of moves. Also, he can throw a rock that under the right circumstances will bring the enemy to you. All these grapplers have a fun way to get in, and once they are in, usually it's time for disgusting 50-50s. Next, I want to talk about how they deal with zoning. Each of these characters have a way to get around a runaway type character. Chompkin has FTB, which no joke stands for Flick Dat Back. It does exactly what it sounds like. He has the ability to flick a projectile so that he creates his own. His projectile is a huge wave that will go through a lot and can be used as a safety wall to walk towards his opponent. Iron Tiger has Spark Bolt, which if you have played against him at all, you know this is kind of a nightmare to deal with. Tiger has a projectile that he gets over time that not only is fast as fuck, but eats pretty much all their fireballs. In addition, it also applies his magnetism debuff and it bounces the opponent to him. Waldstein not only has huge fucking arms to reach his opponents, but he can also smack away fireballs. With some meter, he can also do a command grab that dashes forward and goes through fireballs and takes the opponent to the wall. So overall, all these characters have a way of dealing with zoning, but they have to be used correctly or you get punished for it. And that's the fun part. Potemkin can miss the flick or be hit by multi-hitting fireballs. Iron Tiger has a visual on the screen to tell you and the opponent when his spark bolt is ready. Waldstein is limited by game mechanics such as grid or meter. I'm not going to go into grid, that's too much work. Something I can't stress enough is that when you land a counter hit, command grab, or even just a heavy starter button for a combo, it fucking hurts. Grappler characters are known for doing crazy damage in exchange for being slow. It feels fantastic to land big damage, and not only that, all grapplers have more health, except in Dragon Ball FighterZ. I still can't believe they all have the same health, but we aren't talking about that game today. So you can take more of a beating and have that nice little extra life to keep you going. It's a little bit of a breather knowing you won't die in 2 combos. The last thing I want to bring up is mind games. There is something to just putting the fear of the command grab into the opponent. Since grapplers aren't mobile, they don't really have left-right mix-ups, and usually their overheads are pretty slow, so you have to be creative. Tick grabs, backdash, even sometimes just plain walking forward can be used to scare people. It's all about conditioning your opponent and getting the read on if they will jump or not. Think the opponent will jump? Punish the jump with an anti-air move. Not gonna jump? Command grab and take away 1/5 of their health. Being a grappler is all about being a scary bully, and I love it. Before we get to the end of the video, I want to talk about non-anime fighting games. I don't usually play the grapplers in those games, and that's because once you go anime, it's hard to go back. I've always felt like they were less exciting. Getting it on an opponent, for example, could be just a lot of jump timing and walk forward and block. Damage, I've never felt was crazy high for command grab in those games. Overall, I just want to say, in those fighting games, the grappler type is not for me. Nothing against Zangief, King, or whatever the other fighters are. I just don't play them. There are tons of reasons why I have fallen in love with anime grapplers. I tried to talk about the big points I use to describe why I play them for this video. They are just so cool, and I'm not gonna lie, it's fun to see people get mad about the command grabs. Learning the grappler archetype was probably one of my big changing points of my FGC life because it has taught me so much. Overall, I would say if you wanted to try any of these grapplers, Potemkin is going to be really good in Guilty Gear Strive. He's a great one to learn on. If you're thinking about learning an anime grappler, and Strive is out when this video comes out, so yeah, it's a good starting place. So if you stayed through all the way to the end of this video, I just want to say thank you. I hope you have a good day.